All right, everybody, welcome back to my super fancy recording studio, otherwise known as my closet. Um, so when we left off, Telemachus had made some progress. He had actually found some of the people that he was supposed to find. He had gone to the places, and he had gotten kind of some information. And he figured out that the mentor that was helping him uh, actually was not the mentor that he. Oops, I kicked my computer again. Sorry, guys. But that was actually Athena in disguise again. So people, the people that he's talking to are seeing that and we're like, whoa, he's got like literally a goddess helping him, so I should help him too. So that's good news for him. um I believe this time we should be able to get through books 5 and 6. I've been trying to do two at a time, so that's still my goal. um but if you haven't figured this out already, at some point during the video, I'm going to give you a piece of information, or I'm going to ask a question or answer a question or something. So you need to pay attention, okay? Not just to the story, but also to me, okay? So I'm watching you, but not really, because this is just a video. Just kidding. Okay, so book 5 is where we're at. And turns out I said this so totally wrong the first time. The island that Odysseus is stuck on, are you ready for this? Ogyigia, Ogygia. Ogygia. It sounds like something Charlie would say. It sounds like Ogygia? Ogygia? Like it's gibberish. But anyways, but that's the name of the island, okay? So here we have opening scene. This, I believe, is Odysseus, and he's stranded. He's helpless. He's so sad. He doesn't want to be there. And then here comes Hermes, you could tell, because of, well, first of all, because he's flying. And he's got wings here on his shoes and on his helmet. Um, and he's carrying a caduceus, which ended up being adopted into um, a medical symbol. So, okay. So Hermes lands on Ogygia and um, walks up and says, "Hello, Calypso," because that's who's keeping Odysseus prisoner. "Hermes, welcome. What brings you to my island?" "To tell the truth," Hermes says, "I've been sent here to order you to release Odysseus." "You cruel, jealous gods." Uh-oh, she's not taking this news well. "You never allow a goddess to love a mortal man. When rose-fingered Dawn fell in love with Orion, Artemis struck him down with her arrows. When Demeter lay with Iasion? Whoa, I don't know how to say that name either. Zeus smote him with a lightning bolt." Okay, so basically, she's like, these other she's got these other stories of gods and demigods and goddesses falling in love with a mortal, only to have one of the main Olympians decide that no, that's not going to happen, and smite them with lightning bolts and arrows and things and end up killing the mortal. So she basically is saying, "Oh, you Olympians, you guys are always uh trying to stop us from falling in love. Unless it's the person you want us to love. And now you will take my lover away." Remember, Odysseus does not want to be there. She's holding him against his will. "And now you will take my lover away, even though I saved him from drowning, nursed him to health, offered him immortality." And Hermes just looks at her and says, "It's no use arguing with the will of Zeus. Because I mean, again, lightning bolts. I mean, he's a big deal. Okay, so they're having this whole they're having this whole thing. He just walks up really calmly. They come in, they sit down, and when she gets upset here, she just kind of turns her back on him, and then now she's crying. She's upset because she really did. She had feelings for Odysseus, and she figured, hey, if I offer him immortality, maybe he'll hang around long enough, and he'll have feelings for me too. And meh. But this is not to be. Odysseus doesn't want to be there, and it's causing trouble that he's not where he should be, and it's a whole thing. So she's crying now because she's upset, but she does say, if Zeus commands it, let him be gone. But I have no ship to give him. All I can do is point his way and advise him how to find his home again. The rest is out of my hands. Okay, so she's saying, look, I have limits. I can tell him which way is home. I've been obviously she's been keeping that sort of information from him. So she's like, "Hey, I can point him in the right direction. I don't physically have a ship to give him to get him there, but Hermes walks off says, excuse me. Hermes walks off says, "So be it then. And Calypso, I'd be more gracious toward the will of Zeus if I were you. He may hear your words and punish you." He's big into that, with the smiting and the punishing. Even though he was all the time doing stuff that was super shady. Okay, so Hermes flies off, and she's going to go talk to Odysseus. And he's literally, like, sitting on, like, a cliff's edge, like, crying. Like, that was where we opened. That was where the chapter opened, the book opened. And, I mean, like, he's just, every single day, he's so depressed. He doesn't want to have anything to do with her or the island. "Oh, forlorn man, stop your tears. I am ready to let you go. Come, put your skill to use. Take up tools, fell some tall trees for timber, and build yourself a sturdy raft, strong enough to withstand the ocean waves. I'll give you stores of food and drink and tell you how to reach your home. The rest will happen as the gods will it." Okay, so she's even saying, look, I'm going to let you go. I just need you to physically make a boat. I'll stock it with all the food. I'll tell you which way to go, and set you free from this island. But then after that, it's what the gods will. Odysseus, though, he's not buying it right at first. "Set me free at last? Brave the ocean on a raft? Oh, goddess, what mischief do you have in mind? I'll never put to sea in such a craft unless you were to swear me an oath to help and not to hinder me with your magic or make any plot against me." So at this point, he is done with her. He is like, look, I am not falling for this trick. The only way that I'm going to believe that it's even kind of maybe possible is if you swear to me that not only is this not a trick, but that you're going to use your everything in your power to help me, actively help me, and not to hold me back. "What a devil you are," she says. "Always so suspicious." "Very well, I swear. Let earth be my witness, with the broad sky above and the dark waters of Styx below." Remember, the river Styx is in the underworld, so a lot of people, when they were swearing these oaths, they would invoke the river Styx to show how serious they were. "I will never plot against you, and I'll do all in my power to help you." Okay, so then he stands up. He starts to eat. So he's like, okay, and he is wearing like basically just like some ripped cloth. Like he has very little. Like his ship is gone. His provisions are gone. He has nothing, and he's just got some cloth wrapped around his waist. "Son of Laertes, are you really so determined to leave me and return to your beloved Ithaca?" Well, she will not give up. Calypso's still trying to convince him. If you had any idea of the trials still in store for you, you would gladly stay with me, become immortal, and enjoy a life of bliss. You'd even give up that wife you pine for. I know she cannot be as fair as I am, for she is immortal. Ooh, okay. So basically, she's saying, she's trying one more time, she's trying to appeal to him, and she's like, if you only knew the stuff that was coming your way, how rough it's going to be when you try to leave this island, you would stay here, you'd become immortal, you would live a life of bliss, you'd even give up on that wife that you're still hung up on, you would love me instead. If you only knew how hard it's going to be out there. I mean, like, she's laying it on really thick. Now, don't be angry, Calypso. Of course, no mortal woman can rival a goddess for beauty of face and form. My Penelope must age and die while you have unfading youth. Nevertheless, it is my one wish, the never fading ache in my heart, to return to her and to my own house. So, she was even saying, I'm even prettier than your wife was. And he's like, well, obviously, because you're a goddess, you don't age, but I don't want you to be angry, but I really want to get back to her. And he says, if the gods wreck me again, I will suffer it, as I've suffered all before. Let it come. Like, let it happen. Bring it on, basically. So he's made up his mind. Like, he's very resolute. Like, this is what is going to happen. So looks like she leads him to a clearing. He starts chopping down trees, fashioning them into the raft. Stops to take like a water break, maybe. He's got everything. He starts putting the mast up. Okay, and then he's got it all put together. She brings him a sail. They start putting it on. And then at night, as she brings him the sail, she's pointing out by the stars how he needs to navigate to get home. I realize it's really blurry when I lean in like that, so I'm probably not showing you what I think I'm showing you, but I'm trying at least. All right, and then he sets sail. Okay, so he's got so she shows him the stars. He hoists his sail on his little raft, and he looks back at her one more time, and then he pushes it out into the water, and off he goes. And yikes. Okay, so things are getting pretty serious. So he's sailing by the stars, just like he's been told, and trying to keep his strength up, but he hits rough water. He loses the other piece of cloth that he had kind of tied around him like a cape. So he's just got the one that he's kind of using as pants. And then he had one to kind of cover his shoulders. Obviously, he doesn't want to be exposed to the sun for so many hours. He'd get really sick. But then he loses that in the storm. He's trying to repair, get everything tied back up where it should go. He's running out of provisions. He's starting to look kind of raggedy here. And then, uh-oh. Poseidon. Uh-oh. So, I go off to Ethiopia for a few days, and the other gods decide to release Odysseus? We'll see about that. Ooh, look, he's giant. He's making big waves, and he's got his trident right there. Oh, goodness. Okay, so he's breaking the raft. The mast is cracking. He's going underwater. He's coughing. He's, big waves are coming. Poseidon is really upset. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the wave lands on him. It literally just says slam right here. So like the wave, like, like huge, all of that weight of water, and he's under the water. He's trying to come up and catch his breath. When he finally does manage to get to the surface, he finds part of the wreckage and climbs on it, But then who does he meet? Looks like a siren to me, or a mermaid. What we would call a mermaid. Poor cursed man. Why does Poseidon hate you so? Listen and do what I say. Swim for your life toward the Phaeacian coast over there. Okay, so mermaid appears to be helpful. Here, take my veil and wind it around your waist. It will protect you. Okay, so she had like a head covering thing. That it just kind of looks like a piece of fabric. And so she takes it off, she hands it to him, says, "Hey, this will protect you. When you reach the shore, toss it back into the sea." Okay? And then she swims away. She's wee, because she's fine. I mean, she's got, fins. She can swim just fine. And she can probably breathe underwater too. So then here comes another wave. Poseidon is still really upset. So when he goes underwater again with a kabloosh here this time, he's got this sash and he's tying it around his waist. And then it looks like things kind of calm down for a second. And he's swimming. Huh. I can't tell exactly what's happening. This is what it looks like to me. Okay, so like he's swimming for like a really long time. Okay? Like a really long time. And then it looks like maybe he stops swimming. Like maybe he falls asleep. Like maybe he passes out. Maybe he's overtired. He's been swimming for too long. So then it starts to like glow. The thing around his waist that she said to tie around starts to like glow, and he like wakes up and sits up, is what it looks like to me. And and when he looks around, he sees land. So then he's like, "Oh, gotta get there, gotta get out of the ocean." Oh, except for, I wonder what that is. Because this is Odysseus swimming, so this looks like maybe a shark or something. I don't know if that's just a detail in the illustration or if that comes up later. So he's still swimming to shore. Oh no, except for he swam all that way and he saw land, except for when he gets there, it's cliffs. They go straight up. There's not a beach for him to crawl out on. It's like swimming up to the wall of the pool, but you can't reach the top. He says, "Oh gods, have you let me survive all this only to be smashed against these rocks? Is there a break in these cliffs?" And the waves are still coming. This one comes with a foom. This one comes with a schla. It's the funniest words. See? We've got a foom here. And then up here we have a schla. And then, okay. And then it looks like he's underwater again, and I don't know. I know that you probably can't see this. It looks like his hands are bleeding, like he was hanging on to the rocks, so maybe he like scraped his hands. So he's underwater and he's trying to swim, and he's just trying to make it. And he's looking and he's looking, He finally finds like a little inlet here where he can actually go in, and it's not a straight up rock face. "Hear me, Lord of the river." Oh yeah, Poseidon was the god of the sea, but there were other people who were in charge of the rivers. Normally, like spirits, things that weren't quite gods, but they still were quite powerful. And so the second he sees that river, he's like, "Okay, I've got to get out of the ocean. Poseidon is super mad at me. So hear me, O Lord of the river. I come to you in great need. Show mercy, calm your currents, and let me swim to shore." So he's thinking, maybe since Poseidon doesn't like me, maybe I'll have better luck with whoever's in the river. And it works out. So once he says that little prayer, I have a picture here of some currents swirling around and kind of like helping him get to a rock where he can climb out. Okay. So he does what he's supposed to do. He throws the sash, the veil back in the. Oh, you really can't see that at all, can you? He throws the sash back in the water. He says, "Thank you, goddess. You brought me through alive, but you cannot protect me from freezing if I stay on this beach through the night." I mean, he's absolutely right. All he has is that one piece of cloth that he's wearing as pants, and he doesn't have a fire. He doesn't have a shelter. He doesn't have anything. So, um, all right. So it looks like, best I can tell, he finds kind of a wooded area and just kind of covers himself up. It says Russell, Russell, and then it says Z, like snoring, like he just kind of covers himself up with leaves. Like he's just doing the best he can to kind of insulate himself and keep his body heat in. So he's having a really rough time of it. And Calypso must have seen some of this coming, or at least figured out that it would be like this, because I mean, she told him, she was like, if you only knew, you'd want to stay here, you'd want to be immortal, you'd give up on your wife, I'm going to stay young and beautiful forever, blah, blah, blah. I mean, like, she was laying it on really thick. And it's stuff like this that she was talking about. Okay. So we're actually in book 6 now. And book 6 goes from the blue of the night to bright green of the morning when we go to book 6. And this is Fa- Phaeacia. Let me Google that one real quick. Because I did Ogygia. I did learn that one. So let's see. Phaeaciaa. How to pronounce. Oh my goodness. Let me see. Phaeacia or Phaeacia? Phaeacia or Phaeacia? Phaeacia seems to make more sense to me. So I'm going to go with Phaeacia. Okay. So PHA, pha, and then that AE goes phae, Acia, ACIA, Acia. That makes more sense to me. Phaeacia. Phaeacia. Okay. So, so it goes from blue to green here. Green like this random soap holder box over here. I have weird stuff in my closet. Okay, so he wakes up. He's still like buried in the leaves. He's kind of like sits up and brushes it off because there's music. He's hearing singing or music. There's like music notes. I don't think you can really see. And he looks out from where he is, and people are in the river singing, doing their laundry. Apparently, they're like washing a whole bunch of, like, it's a whole group of people, and it must be washing day. Okay, so he says, I'd best not be too forward in this condition. If you saw somebody walking around mostly with no clothes on, just like a sheet wrapped around as like shorts, and he's covered in leaves, and he probably looks a little like a crazy person, don't you think? So he's like, I need to approach them carefully because even though he's the respectable King Odysseus who's done so much for his people, like, they don't know that. He's just going to look kind of like a crazy man. But yeah, so he tries to approach them calmly, and even like grab some branches off trees so that he can kind of cover himself up more as he's walking towards them, because it's not entirely, I don't think, a group of women. It might be entirely a group of women. But, so he doesn't want to freak anybody out to make him think that there's a crazy man on the loose. So he walks up, he's trying to kind of hide behind some branches and stuff. Oh, it didn't totally work. A couple of the women still went screaming when he showed up. But okay, so but there's one that's brave enough to talk to him. So he's going to ask her some questions. Tell me, are you a goddess or a mortal maiden? I've never seen a girl so fair as you. You seem like Artemis, great Zeus's daughter. I'm afraid to hold your knees and beg for mercy, yet my plight is desperate. Okay, so he's really trying to, again, he's really trying to lay it on thick. Like, you are such a beautiful creature. Could you even be human? You look like Artemis, the goddess of the moon and the night skies, and I mean, laying it on thick. He really wants to make sure he comes across as like a nice guy, someone that they want to help, and not like a crazy person. I've been on the sea 20 days. Ooh, that was a long time on that raft with Poseidon, smashing him up against the rocks and tearing up his raft and all that. Yikes. 20 days. I've been on the sea 20 days, riding the great swells through gale winds to escape the island of Ogygia. Yesterday the storm wrecked me and left me stranded upon the shore. I pray you, take pity on me. Tell me where I am and give me some scrap of clothing to wear, and in return, may the gods grant you all that you desire. Okay, so he's complimenting her. He's like, "Look, I'm a nice guy. I can speak well. I all I need. I'm desperate. I was in a shipwreck. I was stranded at the sea, stranded in sea 20 days, only to end up shipwrecked here. I don't even know where I am. I don't even have proper clothes. Like, please just take pity on me and help me just a little bit, and the gods will bless you." Um, oh, but she is not falling for it. She says, "Stranger, I can tell by your words that you are neither a fool nor a rascal." So here, like, neither a fool, like someone who just speaks without thinking, or a rascal, like someone trying to trick her, like pulling over on her. He really is. She can tell, you know, he's smart, and he's not. He's trying to be honest with her. But this is what she says: if the gods wish you to suffer, there is nothing to be done but endure it. But here on this island you will not lack for hospitality. So, it's a little bit of something, but she's still very much like, if the gods want you to suffer, that's on you. You just got to go through that. I can't help you with that. My name is Nausicaa. We are the what did I say? Phaeacians. Phaeacians? Is that what I said? I forget which one I decided on now. Oops. And this is our island, which is ruled by my father, King Alcinous. Alcinous? No, Antinous is the other guy that caused all the trouble. So Alcinous is probably fine. Come back, cowardly maids. Oh, the two that ran off. That's funny. Remember that all beggars are sent by Zeus. Ooh, ouch, beggars. Let's feed this man, bathe him in the river, and give him a clean, dry tunic and cloak to wear. So the tunic is the long shirt that the guys wore, and normally they would belt it, and then a cloak, goes around the shoulders. Um, so, yeah, I mean, he's in a bad way. She's like, let's give him a bath because he's looking rough, and let's give him some clean clothes. Oh, but let me watch myself, princess. I'm embarrassed to let any highborn women touch my wrinkled skin and salt-caked hair. So he's like, I know I look a mess. Like, please, you don't have to help me. Like, I'll do it. So she says, well then, when you've bathed and eaten, we will show you the way to town. So he does. He takes a bath in the river where they were washing clothes. He puts on the outfit that they bring for him. And she offered him I can't tell, bread maybe or an apple. He's eating it like this, so I can't really tell what it is. But she's offering him a drink in a bottle thing, and then something to eat. I mean, she's feeding him like she said. Okay, but she says this. This is important. I'll lead you part way, but when we approach the town, you must wait. If you followed me by the docks, the sailors would gossip. So since she's the princess, she doesn't want anybody spreading any rumors like there was this weird guy following the princess, or maybe the princess has a secret boyfriend, or anything like that. She was like, you have to avoid all of that. We can't have any of that. It's craziness, and we're not dealing with that. Okay. Um, she's okay. So she says, after he waits, just go straight across the causeway, enter the palace, and go into the great hall. Look for my mother sitting beside the king, weaving by the light of the hearth fire. She's the one you should approach. Speak fairly and ask her mercy. Once you have her sympathy, you can be sure that you will soon see your home again. Interesting. So, kind of seems like Queen's in charge here. So, it's a little bit of a change of pace. Okay. So, they all are walking together. She's explaining how to get in. This is the food. I can't tell what he's eating, the food and drink. But then he walks in by himself, and then he says a prayer before he tries to walk into the city proper. Pallas Athena. Okay, so this is the goddess Athena that's been helping Telemachus. Sleepless daughter of Zeus, hear my prayer. Let these Phaeacians receive me with kindness and help me reach my home. Oh, and then suddenly, and this might be Athena too, we never know when a god or goddess is going to show up in disguise. Suddenly, poof, there's a little girl with an urn looking thing, and she's going like this. Come here. Interesting. All right, and that's it. That's book 7. Okay, so let me move the bookmark. All right. Now, as for the question, when it went from nighttime to daytime, what color did it change to? What color was my soapbox? All right. I will post this. I miss you all terribly, and I hope to see you soon.